Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough, and we're back at it again with another web cartoon pilot. So last time we looked at one of these, it was Guardians of Pandonia, which currently sits at 3 videos. The latest one was uploaded 4 months ago at the time of this review, and it's still pretty funny. And it's the first time I can recall that actually directly links to My Little Pony canon, with a certain somebody who shows up at the end of the video.
Is a live stream. Hello, all you sexy fans out there. Join me next week and I'll show off all the sexy lingerie I bought in Paris. Until then, mwah.
Instead of dying in the Season 9 premiere, he just disappeared to a different world and said, "Screw villainy, I'm just gonna take it easy and become a live streamer." You know what? I can totally accept that as canon. As for some of the other ones, Has-Been Hotel is finally getting a TV show sometime this year, Hell of a Boss is currently into its 2nd season, and Long Gone Gulch is still being worked on. And interestingly enough, we have yet another new face coming to the web animation echelon with Lackadaisy, which admittedly does look very entertaining. But much like Long Gone Gulch, this video actually is another supernatural-themed western, simply known as Cliffside. Animated and uploaded by YouTube animator Liam Vickers, the series was one of the first videos uploaded to his channel. The pilot had plenty of build-up on the creator's social media, and is currently the 3rd video on the channel. The video was uploaded in 2018, just a year before the Has-Been and Hell of a Boss pilots. What exactly became of this pilot? Well, let's see for ourselves. This is Cliffside. We begin in the lawless hellhole somewhere out west called Cliffside, a town that only has 21 people, and the number just might be going down on account of these things, fresh out of Tim Burton's sketchbook. If only there was someone who could fend off these beasts.
I'm Two-Bit Jerry, a gunslinger and an outlaw. So be gone, monster. Back to the cliffs with you.
And what would a good self-appointed sheriff be without his deputy? In this case, it's Honest Joe over here, who brings Jerry back to reality by asking him to help her dad with something. Because if it wasn't obvious, Jerry's not a really good sheriff or gunslinging outlaw like he says he is, as he begins to run from the evil creatures.
Forgot they could do that. Look! Background street crosser! Watch out!
Can we get an in memoriam for that random bystander back there? Whoever that guy was, you will never be forgotten.
Out of bullets.
Same.
What's important is we fight to the— Wait, what? Nice! I'm a better shot than I thought. Ooh, Joe, help! I was being cheeky. I know you shot them.
So after the title card and Jerry daydreams with some pine cones, it happens, the two give some exposition about how this town has always been surrounded by monsters for quite some time. You guys think that's bad? Just go a couple towns over. There's some human kids playing sheriff trying to fend off some fish people for their jackrabbit mayor.
Just be glad I helped you at all. I'm Two-Bit Jerry, a no-good dastardly gunslinger. I once shot a man just for looking at me wrong. Then I shot him again for dying.
Oh sure, Jerry, I totally believe you. You killed 6 men with 1 bullet. Yeah, you're just a regular Western badass. You and Rango, respectively. Anyway, Joe tells him to keep watch for the night. Thankfully, this wasn't made by M. Night Shyamalan, because if it was, the twist ending would have been that the monsters were really people in costumes, and they were just living in an animal enclosure the whole time. Also, anybody getting Gravity Falls Over the Garden Walls vibes with Jerry walking through the woods at sunset? Jerry ends up getting caught in a spider's web, tied up by what can only be a giant monster spider, right?
It's fine, you can stay over there.
For my eyes.
Okay, that was weird.
No, it wasn't. It was horrifying.
My goodness, my waifu senses are tingling.
This is Cordy, a spider girl who begins to like Jerry because she doesn't know how full of crap he is when he says that he's some cowboy badass. He thinks he gives her the slip by using one of his spurs to rip through the web before he falls to the ground like a goober. Ugh, good thing the sound design didn't make that sound as painful as it looked.
Ouch. But more importantly,
That was nifty.
Hi, I'm Nifty. It's nice to meet you.
I could totally picture that now. Nifty and the spider girl, they would be the best of friends. So these monsters show up and badmouth Cordy since all she's supposed to do is stay up and keep an eye out for prey, much like Jerry does for the town. He stands up for her and naturally the giant pterodactyl dragon looking thing then grabs them and flies straight up in the air only to drop them. Would that really do much? I mean, Jerry fell from a very great height and even getting hit with a tree a couple of times didn't stop him from getting back up just a couple seconds later.
You stood up for me.
No, I think I was transferring personal issues!
Wow, her web is surprisingly strong if it was able to take that pterodactyl thing down with them.
That was
Awesome! You're so awesome!
I was going to say questionable physics, but
See, Jerry agrees with me.
You stood up to them! I want to be just like you.
oh, I don't know. The life of an outlaw ain't easy. That was pretty cool what you just did there yourself.
Screw it, yeah, I ship them. Even if she gives off some real crazy vibes.
I'll do it.
So we get a montage of them kicking ass and taking names, until Cordy ends up stealing some money from a bank they were trying to protect from other robbers. That is until the real law shows up, led by Joe. Cordy's about ready to go psycho spider lady on them, all the while Jerry tries to get her to stop. Joe holds them at gunpoint, and Jerry tries to talk his way out of it, until it's revealed that only the pterodactyl creature was killed and not the other thing, because it was death itself! And he's come back to the town to get some sweet vengeance.
Okay, my horrendous buzzing of flies is a little rusty, but I think he wants to bit Jerry's hat? Scarf?
So death itself speaks through flies buzzing. So it's like a reference to Judeo-Christian mythology where Beelzebub could allegedly turn into flies. Or maybe it's like death speaks through flies because flies are often attracted by dead bodies. I don't know. Either way, it is pretty clever.
So, you gonna learn your lesson, or...
Can I at least learn it in a standoff?
Make it fast.
Cordy, I made everything up.
What?
Nothing! Standoff time!
You know, Jerry, if you want to beat death, you could challenge him to a limbo game and then cheat at the last second to make him your best friend for the rest of your life. Or challenge him to a game of chess. Or give him a Melvin and run away. No, actually, you want to see how he beats the Grim Reaper in this?
Giving you validation. See, Mr. Death itself, I learned something today. Moral of this episode is, if you validate someone enough, you can manipulate them into doing whatever you say. Good job, Death. Who's a good little Death? You are. You earned that sheriff star, didn't you? Please don't kill me.
I would say that was harsh, but he did try to weasel his way out of learning a life lesson, and could have been worse. I mean, he was just beaten here. It's not like death actually killed him for what he did, so... Yeah, I think Jerry's officially even now.
Oh, who wants to stand watch?
Are you kidding me? I'm way too cool for that Ow. I do.
Me too! I once looked at something and only lost focus for 3 hours.
Spider-Girl isn't coming.
Hey Joe, by the way, if the sheriff position was open, what happened to the sheriff before death?
I don't know. Shot. Bandits, probably. Culprit was never caught.
That was the pilot for Cliffside, and even though the series didn't go anywhere, yeah, this was still pretty fun. While this was made by a smaller team compared to Long Gone Gulch or Has Been, the animation is still pretty good, the voice acting is pretty solid, the comedy was pretty funny and I found myself laughing a lot, the characters were pretty entertaining and likable, Jo, as little as she's seen, has a good apathetic demeanor and has some good dry comedy all throughout, Cordy's a pretty cute screwball character, getting lots of good interactions with Jerry and how she fangirls over him and tries to be intimidating but fails. Jerry's a pretty likable protagonist. He just wants to be taken seriously as a badass sheriff, but often screws up because of his own ego or lack of know-how. But he still doesn't give up despite all of his missteps. If I can be critical just a little bit, some of the animation is a bit stiff in certain scenes, and some of the sound design's a bit iffy just between the mic quality of certain actors, but it's never enough to weigh the pilot down. I said the same thing in my Long Gone Gulch review, and I still really like that. Besides, these are pilots, and I don't really expect perfection just based on the first episode alone. So, for what it is, it was really well done. As far as what happened to the series, it has currently been shelved.
There's a lot of background music that's been uploaded since the pilot dropped, but otherwise, the series has laid dormant for quite a while. As of last year, Liam Vickers has announced a new series he's been working on with an even bigger team and an even bigger budget. This one being called Murder Drones. This time it's a CG show, and it has its own separate channel, and it only has 2 episodes out so far. I might do a separate review of this sometime in the future, but as for now, I really like what I've seen. The animation and the designs are really good in it.
Overall, yeah, Cliffside was a pretty fun pilot. It's just a shame that we may or may not get a full series out of it, especially after a pretty solid first episode. Kind of like another web animation I looked at years ago. Well, what you gonna do? At least we still have Peach Creek to look forward to. That one looks pretty fun. Certainly better than some of the mainstream reboots of nostalgic IPs we've been getting from the big studios.
You know what 420 is, right?
Yeah. It's code for adults who still watch cartoons.
Not reviewing it. All you need to know is that, like everyone else has said before me, yeah, Velma sucks. Until next time, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough.
What just happened?